why you can do all the strength training in the world and not get a bit faster. What's up, guys? This is John Vickers, owner of Explosive Performance Academy and creator of the C4 method, where we help athletes maximize their athleticism through speed, strength, power, and multi-directional skill. Now, when it comes to speed, strength is not very important. There's a piece of it. It's a piece of the puzzle, right? Strength is a piece of the puzzle. But there are so many other things that are necessary when it comes to speed development. And the majority of the time, when it comes to training and development, the important things when it comes to speed are not taught. And typically, what those things are physics. Okay, it's really, really simple physics, right? So if you are to press down into the ground this way, force into the ground this way is going to make your body go this way. Okay, so it's like you're jumping, right? Well, when it comes to speed, it's the exact same thing. The direction that you apply force into the ground and the angles of your thighs, your shins, your ankles are all going to determine the direction that you run, how much force you apply into the ground, and which direction you're going to go. So I've spoken about this in the past, but when it comes to speed, linear speed, there are really 4 different phases, right? So you have your start, you have your acceleration, you have your transitional, and then you have your max velocity. All 4 of these phases, there are different physics. There are different angles. So there's some physics and there's some geometry. But all 3 of these, there is a difference in your body, how you're applying force. Okay, your start, depending on your sport, the direction your shins are pointing are going to determine where your first step goes. Okay, so it doesn't even necessarily matter what sport it is. If we're trying to run a faster 60-yard dash, if we're trying to run a faster 40-yard dash or a 100-yard dash, our shin angle needs to be pointing into the ground this way. And let's just say this. These are our thighs, right? These are our thighs. Quads are hamstrings. And then I'm going to remove these. These are our ankles. So we should be on the balls of our feet in both these. The shins, if I'm running this way, shins need to be pointing this way. Whether you're in a 60-yard stance or you're in a 40-yard dash stance. Shins are pointing this way so you can apply force into the ground this way. You apply force into the ground, you're not going straight linear, you're going up and out. Okay, you're going up and out here. So this foot ends up coming here, so we're going here. This foot ends up coming here, so we're going here. And these strides start to stretch out. Okay, so that's acceleration. That's start and acceleration, actually. As we start to come out of acceleration, so your start is just the very start, right? This is at 0 yards, 0 meters. Your acceleration is from 0 to 10 yards. Okay, some athletes aren't able to maintain acceleration for 10 yards, so it's more like 7 to 10 yards. And then your transitional phase, the next phase is 11 yards or 8 yards let's just do this. Let's say about 8 yards to about 30 yards. Now the transition is different, right? So we go from here, driving through the ground here, to now it's a little bit less. So we're almost vertical with that. Okay, so it goes from a punch and drive back into the ground to a combo between a punch and a drive and almost a claw through the ground here. A claw through the ground that way. And at this point, the foot is getting closer to being underneath the hip. Okay, as we're closer to being underneath the hip, that's when our body starts to come upright. And then we have our max velocity, which is about 30 yards plus. Max velocity, this is where we are upright. Force, so we're still coming up. We're still coming up like this. Okay, so this is our lead thigh. This is the shin. This is the ankle. This is the back leg, back here. So we're getting extension through the ground. This is actually going to end up hitting here, but then we're going to come off this way, and that's where it comes back here. So it's the cycling motion. So this foot is going to end up transitioning more down underneath the hip. So let's just say the axis of the hip is right here. It's going to land right here. Okay, that's where the foot's going to land, and then it's going to pull through the ground here and cycle back through. The max velocity phase is the most technical. Okay, the easiest to manipulate is the acceleration phase, but understanding the angles to accelerate properly are what's going to be the biggest difference maker for majority of athletes. Now, a lot of times, if the start's bad, acceleration's not going to be bad. The rest typically isn't going to be great. Some athletes are just so fast naturally that they can, I guess, beat the odds, right? And they can just out athlete their actual mechanics. But the better your mechanics, the faster you're going to run, especially when it comes to max velocity. If you are efficient when it comes to max velocity, you are going to run a whole lot faster than you've ever run before. So we always want to focus on where force is being applied and how it's being applied. If you're upright in your max velocity, so the force is going to kind of come through here at an angle. And then that's going to propel you out and up. Okay, we always want to, when it comes to sprinting, we will always want to propel out and up. We're not just going to be linear. Okay, and we definitely don't want to be vertical. For vertical, force is just being applied directly down into the ground, and we're not moving very, very far, very fast. Okay, so it can be very, very complicated, but simplify it. It's all about the direction that you are applying force to the ground. Okay, it's all about the direction that you're applying force to the ground. Equal and opposite reactions. Every reaction has an equal and opposite reaction. So if we want to go out fast, we got to drive back through the ground fast. Okay, very, very simple concept. Okay, I hope this helps. I hope this helps break down speed a little bit for you. And if you have any questions, go ahead and throw those questions in the comment section. I'm here to help whenever you want. I hope you enjoy this. Talk to you next week.